Welcome, my name's Jerome Rachele, and today I'm going to show you how to import data from Microsoft Excel into SPSS. So this is a very important skill. You'll often receive data in Microsoft Excel format, and you'll be required to import it into SPSS to analyze it. So I've got a dummy data set here. It's got 4 variables. So we've got participant ID, we've got socioeconomic background, where 0 equals low and 1 equals high. We've got participated in program, where 0 equals no and 1 equals yes. Then we've got minutes of physical activity in the previous week, where -1 denotes a missing value. So the first thing I need to do is change the variable names, because SPSS won't allow spaces in the variable names. It won't allow numbers or variables to start off with a number. And it won't allow certain characters like these brackets. So, but I still want to see, I still want to know what these are. So I'm going to save this as a new file. So I'm going to save as, I'll just call this version 2. Okay, and then I'm going to make some changes. So the reason why I'm doing this is because when I import into SPSS, I want the first row to be the variable names, which is going to save us some time. So I'm going to call this ID, this one SES, this one program, and this one PA for physical activity. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to go over to SPSS, go File, Import Data from Excel. Okay, and I'm going to go dataset version 2. Just remember that this is part of my Z drive. If you're accessing SPSS virtually, you need to go to Z drive, and Z drive is your computer. So on my desktop, I'd save those 2 files. Okay, and the default setting we've got here, read variable names from first row of data. That's what I wanted, so it's ticked. I'll leave it. So what you can see here, it's brought all our data in, which is excellent. It's also brought in some nothing columns, so I'm going to get rid of those first. So we've got our 4 variables. Now I'm going to open our original Excel spreadsheet, so we can put the details in. So under labels, I'm going to label the variables the same as what you can see in Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to call this one here participant ID, this one socioeconomic background, participated in program, and minutes of physical activity in the previous week. So now when I run my analyses, we're going to get nice little labels here instead of just the variable names. The next column is values. So you'll remember from this dummy data set that for socioeconomic background, 0 equals low, 1 equals high, and for participated in program, 0 equals no, 1 equals yes. So I'm going to change the values. So 0 equals low, 1 equals high. Okay, and then for program, 0 equals no, and 1 equals yes. So when I go over to the data view now, you'll see that instead of the 0s and 1s it had before, it's now got low and high and yes and no. Next, for missing, we only had one for one variable, the last variable. We denoted that -1 equals a missing value. So -1 means that the participant either didn't report or we don't have a value for them. So if SPSS sees -1, so under discrete missing values, I'm going to say -1. If SPSS sees -1, it's going to know it's missing, rather than thinking that they did -1 minutes of physical activity in the previous week. And lastly, I'm just going to check the measures. So ID is a nominal measure, not a scale. And the rest are correct. So now we have our data imported from Excel into SPSS, and it's ready to analyze. Thanks for listening.